All right, welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. So today we are going to be discussing companies suddenly backtracking from DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we've recently seen Tractor Supply, John Deere, and now Microsoft changing their tune. We will also discuss Trump's reinstatement to Twitch, some comments Zuckerberg made. We'll explore the question, is it okay to kick your kids out at 18 years old? I used to have a different opinion, but my opinion has since changed. And we'll talk a little bit about I show speed screaming at a baby. So yeah, all that today and more. All right. So let's get into this first story. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this puppy up. Hold on a second. All right. There we go. All right. So we are going to talk about this, man, because this is crazy. So this was a post by Robbie Starbuck, and he said it's time to expose Tractor Supply. And Robbie Starbuck has been doing phenomenal work exposing these companies. So he put Tractor Supply in his sites, and what he revealed was kind of alarming, because you would think, too, going into it, that Tractor Supply is a fairly conservative leaning company, but some of the things that they were doing were not very conservative. Hey, we got Resident of Kanto tonight. Oh yeah, I also got another story. I want to talk about the I guess great replacement of redheads that's happening in our media. So we'll talk about that a little bit too. So they did. So he revealed that they did LGBTQIA plus training for employees, funding pride and drag events. They had a DEI council. They funded sex changes. They were climate change activists. They celebrated Pride Month in their offices. They even had DEI hiring practices and LGBTQIA plus events at work. Howe also liked posts attacking unvaccinated people. So this woman, Allison W., when she left ESPN, and he says, "I take no pleasure in bringing this all to light. I'm a Tennessean who loves to support TN companies, but as a Tennessean, I know woke priorities don't align with our state or Tractor Supply's customer base." And he's absolutely right. Like, come on, are we really supposed to believe that progressive leftists are going to Tractor Supply to purchase things? No, they're not. They're not the demographic. So why are you pandering to those people? And it's something that consistently does blow my mind, that these companies often pander to the people that are actually the minority in purchasing their product. And in the process, they alienate their base. It's just stupid. It just, like, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. Like, as a business professional, you should be focusing on the people that enjoy your products and market stuff toward them. I don't imagine there are a lot of homosexual farmers. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. All right. The kind of sex you like is not an appropriate topic at work. Yeah, too. Like, can we talk a little bit about how weird that is? Like, why do we have to celebrate people's sexual preferences in general? It's just a weird thing. It's just weird that companies do this, and they don the flag and they donate to the pride events. It boggles the mind. All right. So if you're disturbed by what you learn in this video, as I am, here's what you can do. What video? We'll see in a second. Don't take it out in your local store. I want to see this video. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm not watching this whole thing. Yeah, too long. Not watching it. But he shows they have like banners banners hung up in their office. But I don't really want to spend a lot of time talking about the fact that they did it. We know these companies do it. We know they all do it. And I want to talk about them backpedaling. That's the story here. That's what interests me more than anything, is that these companies are backtracking. So this article was released. So this is by NPR. So Tractor Supply slashes its DEI and climate goals. That's a plus too. After a right-wing pressure campaign, which, by the way, we owe to Robbie Starbuck. We owe to Robbie Starbuck. He's the one that ran this pressure campaign. It's him putting the pressure on these companies, exposing them. So it's just, that's one of those things that blows my mind, is this is pretty much one guy, and maybe the people that are leaking him this information, but just a handful of people that are bringing companies to their knees. I think that's great, because this is a sign that things are shifting. All right, culture is shifting. So because before it was woke leftists putting pressure on companies to do these things, and now it's the opposite. Companies are backing away. So Tractor Supply company, which bills itself as the largest rural lifestyle retailer in the U.S., will eliminate its diversity, equity, and inclusion roles, withdraw its carbon emission goals, and stop sponsoring pride events in response to criticism from conservative activists. The Brentwood, Tennessee company announced the series of sweeping changes in a statement shared to social media on Thursday, bringing a week-long right-wing pressure campaign to a close. I mean, that is incredible, man. So it's just encouraging too, because I think I go back to the Bud Light thing, all right? Because for a long time, I think conservatives and Christians didn't realize they have the power they actually do. But when you start to wake up to that fact, and you wield it, and you don't care, and you don't care about pleasantries, you care about standing for what is right and what is good, you could have tremendous impact on companies. And when the whole Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light thing happened, we boycotted them. And Bud Light suffered massive loss because of it. And it scared other companies. It sent a message that once we bring one of these campaigns against them, they will bend the knee. They will back off. Because at the end of the day, no company, maybe other than Disney, loves hemorrhaging money. They don't. They want to keep their money. They want to keep their customers genuinely happy. And they know that this nonsense, paying for gender transitions, is not going to fly with the customers. It's not going to be okay with the customers. Resident of Canto says, "Glory to God." Yeah. Amen, man. I'm really, really, really happy about this. So actually, I'm just going to read this statement because I pulled it up on Twitter. I just think this is awesome. I think what Robbie Starbuck should do, if he's not doing it already, is start to print these out and just frame them like they're scalps in his studio. Each time he gets a company to do something, because he's not done, by the way. We're going to cover another company that he's going after that they're starting to change their tune as well. For more than 85 years, Tractor Supply has focused on one thing: serving life out here every day. Our $50,000 team members take care of our customers like family. We deeply value our relationship with our customers and the communities we call home. We are passionate about being good neighbors in our hometowns, because without you, we would not be what we are. And they're right. Without the customer, they would not be able to sell their product. It is imperative to us that our customers' hard-earned dollars are taken care of our team members and communities we all love. As you supported us, we have invested millions of dollars in veteran causes. Yep, that's good. Emergency response, animal shelters, state fairs, rodeos, and farmers markets. We have also invested in the future of rural America. We are the largest supporter of the FFA and have long-standing relationships with the F4-H and other educational organizations. We will continue to work hard to live up to our mission values every day and represent the values of the communities and customers we serve. We have heard from the customers that we have disappointed them, and we have taken the feedback to heart. Let's go. Going forward, we will ensure our activities and giving tie directly to our business. For instance, this means we will no longer submit data to the Human Rights Campaign, none of their business, refocus our team members' engagement groups on mentoring, networking, and supporting the business, further focus on rural America's priorities, including education, animal welfare, veteran causes, and being a good neighbor, and stop sponsoring non-business activities like pride festivals. Yes! That is what I am talking about. They are abandoning this woke nonsense. Eliminate DEI roles and retire our current DEI goals while ensuring a respectful environment, and withdraw our carbon emission and focus on our land and water conservation efforts. It's like all three woke horsemen of the apocalypse just got wiped out here. And I think this is great. I think this is awesome. So they're abandoning pride. They're no longer going to be pandering to the homosexuals who aren't shopping there anyway. They're not going to be participating in systemic racism, because guess what? That's what DEI is. They hire people on the basis of their skin color and not merit. Basically, this means that if you're white, you can now get hired again, which is great. They're not gonna put black candidates or other candidates before you. They're going to not look at your skin color, but the content of your character and your work ethic, which I think is the only thing they should be considering when hiring somebody. Can you do the job? Yes. Okay, good. I don't like. There's got to be a better system of hiring people than what we currently have, because I think we should try to make it as non-biased as possible. But although there are some people where I'd probably, it's a good thing I'm not a business owner, because there's definitely a lot of people I would discriminate, not against like people for their skin color, but other reasons. You come in with like tattoos on your face. No, I'm not hiring you. You come in dressed like a woman and you're a man, I'll laugh you out the door, and I won't even care about the lawsuit. All right. And then withdrawing from dude, no, I don't care about skin color. I don't care about skin color. But there's certain non-Christian values that I would definitely not be hiring, and I wouldn't even hide it. We hire Christians here. We hire people that actually believe in Jesus, believe in working hard, and that's what I would do if I had a company. All right. We will continue to listen to our customers, team members, and trust your confidence in us are of the utmost importance, and we don't take that lightly. And honestly, I believe that. You don't release a statement like this saying you're not going to support the LGBT and not mean it. So I believe they mean it. I believe they actually listened to their customers and responded in a good fashion. And I will continue to shop at Tractor Supply. I'll probably make that a priority over box stores to buy my products. I get my dog food there now, and I feel way more comfortable doing that than going to like PetSmart, where, by the way, this year I walked into PetSmart during Pride Month. They had the gay pride display for their dogs. Because they wanted your dogs to be gay. So I would much rather give my money to companies that actually align with my values. And they did make changes. So this was their app before, had their little Pride Month thing. Now, nope. They're recognizing the military and abandoning it. Which just does show you that these people a lot of these people that are claiming to believe in DEI are just fake. They don't actually believe it. They just want to make money. They're like they're like that Mr. Krabs meme. Why are you doing it? For the money. That's the only reason they are doing it. They want money. So this was a picture of video of a John Deere tractor on fire that went viral last week. And they had a bad week because, wouldn't you know it, Robbie Starbuck at it again, claiming another scout, started reporting on them. So yeah, this tractor is on fire.
Some days are like this. Brand new tractor, brand new shredder.
Tough break, man. I'd be really upset because those tractors ain't cheap. They aren't cheap. All right, so you could see he's actively campaigning. So this is John Deere's DEI program manager. So they got the talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. They got the pronouns in their bio. They have departments. And just what a waste of time. Really, what a waste of time, man. I would love for there to be like a conservative consulting company that just goes around to companies and helps de-woke their company. Like if I could get a job doing that, oh man, that would be amazing. That would be my favorite job. All right, I just go in and I identify all the woke stuff and I just help them get back to a place where they're going to make money again. All pride flags gone, all the LGBTQ plus holidays gone, paying for gender transitions gone, and just help them become less woke, and make money again. I would love that. That's a good job, good business idea. Someone should do it. All right, but. So after he starts his campaign, and by the way, he covers a lot. So, he covers a lot. Wow, this is insane. John Deere's code of conduct makes employees promise to snitch on other employees if they feel like they violated DEI policies. These complaints go to the legal, HR, management, or a special phone hotline. Wow. That's creepy, man. I will support diversity, equity, and inclusion by doing the following. I will complete the required diversity awareness training to better understand my responsibilities in this area. That means that they're going to go through their woke indoctrination training. I will report any diversity, equity, or inclusion related concern to a manager, my human resources or labor relations contact, a member or legal department on the John Deere hotline, compliance hotline. That's creepy, man. That is very Orwellian that they have you snitching, I worked with a woman, man, that I am almost confident if she caught me misgendering somebody, and I flagrantly refused to do the whole pronouns bullcrap. I just wouldn't do it. But if she caught me doing it, I 100% believe she would have threw me under the bus instantly. And she's one of these people that just claims to like everybody and is like happy and but underhanded and sneaky. Will stab you in the back with a smile on her face. So. All right, so John Deere backs away from diversity and inclusion efforts after a conservative backlash. John Deere says it will no longer sponsor social or cultural awareness events, becoming the latest major U.S. company to distance itself from diversity and inclusion measures after being targeted by conservative backlash. In a statement posted on X, which we will read. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will talk. We'll read some of the changes that they made. To best serve our customers, Deere is always listening to feedback and looking for opportunities to improve. That's why we consistently prioritize internal policies that closely align with our business strategy to meet the needs of our customers. For example, last year, we revised our corporate guidelines to focus fully on sponsorship supporting the business and brand of our brand. Our nonprofit sponsors center on priority areas such as hunger, economic development, poverty alleviation, alleviation, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM, agriculture, education, blah, blah, blah. Based on the conversations, we have committed to the following. We will no longer participate in or support external social or cultural awareness parades, i.e. pride parades, festivals, or events. Business resource groups will exclusively be focused on professional development, networking, and mentoring and supporting talent recruitment. Radical idea. Focus on, making your employees more professional. Good idea. Auditing all company mandated training materials and policies to ensure the absence of socially motivated messages. This is good. Be neutral. Go back to just selling your products and nobody will care. I was just Resident Kanto, somebody I actually know. We were just talking about this recently and just focus on being good companies and not this social nonsense we were talking about with movies. Focus on making quality movies instead of having a certain amount of black characters in it or queer characters in it. Just focus on making good entertainment. Reaffirming within the business that the existence of diversity quotas and pronoun identification have never been and are not company policy. That's good. So they never got on board with that. We fundamentally believe that a diverse workforce enables us to best meet our customer needs. And because of that, we'll continue to track and advance. That I don't like. Because when they talk about diversity, it's not like they're talking about a diversity of skill sets. I do think that does make a stronger workplace, but I don't think diversity of skin color makes a difference. It doesn't really matter. What makes the difference is having extremely competent people doing their job regardless of their skin color. And the second you start to factor skin color in over that, your company starts to degrade. It starts to become less proficient in what it does, and it starts to drift away from being a force of good, and focuses on discrimination. So this is kind of half-hearted. So that's got to go, but it's a good start. It's a good start. And Microsoft too, by the way. So this is according to IGN. Microsoft is reportedly shutting a major diversity, equity, and inclusion team, according to an email sent by the team's leader to a number of staff last week, in which they state the company no longer sees DEI programs as business critical. So, so Microsoft staff last week, in which the lead also accuses the company executive leadership of investigated and evidence discrimination, harassment, and toxicity. I should have probably read the first part of this. Microsoft is reportedly shutting one of its diversity, equity, and inclusion teams, according to an internal email sent by the team leaders to a significant number of Microsoft staff last week, in which the lead also accuses the company's executive leadership of investigated and evidence discrimination, harassment, and toxicity. I'm calling suspect on that. We will see. But one of the Microsoft key DI teams, in it, they state that their role and team were eliminated due to changing business needs as of July 1st, 2024. And it's because they're recognizing that these are no longer profitable anymore. That's a waste of company time and company resources, and they are not having it. So I think, that's a good thing. I want to real quick get this other story with the replacement of Gingers pulled up, because it is wild. And I think this is pretty much related. Because it's something I did not realize until it was pointed out to me, and now I can't unsee it. All right, here we go. All right, let's move on. Well, actually, hold on. So with the diversity, equity, inclusion thing, I think this is overall a big win. I think As people like Robbie Starbuck continue to put the pressure on these companies, they will back off of it. I think some of them too are like just praying for a reason to back off of it, because they're sick of doing it too. They're sick of losing. What company wants to lose money? And two, as I said earlier, it is discrimination. To hire someone on the basis of their skin color is discrimination. To prioritize people of color over white people is anti-white bigotry. It's discrimination. And it would never happen in reverse. And it shouldn't happen. We shouldn't be discriminated on people on the basis of their skin color. President Cantor writes, DEI in Hollywood. Yeah, it's bad. And we're going to look at how bad it is right now, at least with what's happening with gingers. All right, let's pull this up. So this is an image shared on Reddit of all the gingers that have been replaced by black people. And I didn't really, I've known this is happening, but I wasn't cognizant of it until I saw this image. And then you're just like, oh my God, they really are replacing all the gingers with black people. And I don't know all of these people. So this is Heimdall. I'm okay with it. He was pretty badass in Thor. Who do I recognize? We have Mary Jane obviously got replaced. We have Daphne getting replaced. We have this one, I think, is one of the more egregious ones. April being replaced. And this isn't even the new ugly one. This is a different one. So she's been swapped to black a couple times. Starfire getting replaced. Who else do I know here? Ariel getting replaced. And now they also have the little Disney Junior show of Ariel getting replaced. And this is just wild to me. And I probably wouldn't care as much if you saw it happen sometimes in the reverse, but it never happens in the reverse. It's always one way. And unfortunately, gingers are suffering the worst. What do we have? Yeah, Jim Gordon here. Which one was this in? I don't remember this. I don't remember what this. Let me see if I can zoom in and see that. I see Jim Gordon, but what Batman was this? Because I just don't remember it. I don't remember it. I wonder if that was a Robert Pattinson Batman. I'm having a hard. Maybe it was the Robert Pattinson Batman, which was good too. So I didn't really notice because it was good. Yeah, very good. Highly recommend. That is actually a very underrated Batman movie. It was excellent. I enjoyed it. It was not as good as The Dark Knight, but enjoyable. Better than some of the most recent Batman movies we've seen. But yeah. Now, part of me thinks that a lot of people didn't care that this is happening because gingers don't have souls. Kind of makes sense to me, but it is still pretty. Still. So I got sent this or showed this meme, and I thought this is funny. Gingers be like, they took our germs. Yeah, they did. They got replaced. So this is the great ginger replacement theory. It's happening. This is not a conspiracy. The evidence is undeniable. You cannot refute this. It's happening. We need to sound the alarms. Actually, it is pretty concerning though, because gingers too, by the way, like they're actually a true minority. There's not a lot of them. Yeah, there's just not a lot of gingers in the world. I think it's like 0.5% of people are born gingers, so there's not a lot. So it's kind of anti-DEI to replace them, honestly. Like, they're better off keeping them, because don't gingers deserve to be represented? Huh? What about them? Huh? Do they matter? Does their hair matter? Does Do their souls matter? Evidently not to people. So yeah, Ginger should get more representation. They should be swapped back. You want to know the one I'm most bothered about? Starfire. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. It looks off. And Velma, the ugly Velma is. I'm going to show you this because it's no, not Velma, April. Because it is just so bad. Yeah, look at. Look at that. Like, one, the character model just looks awful. She looks awful. Awful. Why did they do that? I don't get it. What is appealing about this? You know, the other Velma was in shape. She wasn't frequenting Krispy Kreme. She inspired people to be healthy. And, you know, she wasn't a total dweeb. This one looks just like a dork, honestly. So I don't get it. It's disappointing to say the least, but they're gonna do what they're gonna do, you know. They don't care. They're not gonna. Disney certainly will not stop. Yeah, old April's Bay. Yeah, way better than new Velma. You know, and people will be like, "Oh, you're weird for caring about that." No. One, you know, like, you want to have aesthetically pleasing characters. You just do. So the uglification of characters is real. That's happening, and we see it here. I think even the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look stupid. Like, their character models look stupid too. You know, so it just looks awkward and weird, and I'm not with it. So yeah, very important news that I needed to deliver to you guys. And before we get into our next segment, let's talk about coffee. So this is 1775 coffee. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm drinking it right now. And speaking of woke brands, you don't want to drink any more woke Starbucks, right? Say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. Unlike other brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. And you're not going to get any pride parades. You don't have to worry about that. So visit 1775coffee.com. Use promo code Studio40 to get 40% off any coffee subscription. The coffee comes in medium, dark roast, and pea berry, which is similar to Kono coffee. In other words, this stuff is premium. Soon I'm going to be able to just say that without looking at it. And I still don't know if I have to do that read verbatim, but I'm just doing it right now. I'll have to look more into it. But I've actually made a tiny little bit of money off these streams, which is kind of cool. All right. Next story. So Donald Trump has been unbanned from Twitch after 3 years. Is he getting uncanceled? Hell yeah, he is. Trump is uncanceled. He's done. You know, he's no longer canceled. It's no longer, people are no longer have to be worried about wearing their MAGA hats, and people can support Trump freely now without fear of repercussion. Resident Canto writes, Bones coffee sucks. I don't think I really had Bones coffee. And he said Trump is a legend. And he is a legend. And that's why. I mean, what Trump did this past weekend demanded companies do this. And it commanded respect. I mean, so you know, him being unbanned off of Twitch after 3 years is awesome. And if you don't recall it, they did do this in response to January 6th. So Twitch banned Trump's account in 2021 out of fear that he would use the platform to incite more violence after the January 6th attack on the Capitol. This is all social pressure. This is a pressure campaign that they were trying to use to make Trump go away. And it failed phenomenally because he did not go away. He has only become more powerful. And every effort that they have made to try to stop this man has backfired, including trying to take his life. It will not work. You will not stop this man. Because I actually do believe that God is on his side. And I believe you can't, touch somebody that God's hand is upon. And, I'm not one of these people that think like Trump is savior or anything like that. So don't get twisted, right? But I do think that there has been a divine hand on him, and I do think God has a plan for Trump. And after listening to his RNC nomination speech, I feel more confident that God is doing something with Trump. And I'm going to continue to pray that God gets a hold of his heart, and he is the type of person that brings that Josiah energy to our nation and brings people back to the Lord, honestly. So that's my hope. We will see, but regardless, God's hand is upon his life, and this has demanded companies backtrack, and now it's no longer fringe for them to support him. But it also proves that they were cowards to begin with. So let's not forget that. Let's not forget that Twitch, behaved very cowardly. Let's not forget that these companies behave very cowardly. That's why, by the way, I stream to Twitch, but I'm not exclusive with Twitch. My priority is Rumble and Twitter, and Twitch and these other companies get my scraps. All right. Two, just to further prove that more people are coming around to Trump. This is Zuckerberg in an interview, and I think this is pretty awesome.
I've done some stuff personally in the past. I'm not planning on doing that this time, and that includes not endorsing either of the candidates. Now, look, there's obviously a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. The historic events over the last over the weekend, and on a personal note, it's seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face.
Oh.
And pump his fist. The American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, it's
I'll play that over.
The flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
That's right.
But look, it's and I think, look, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy. Yeah,
you think? So, this too, Zuckerberg was among the people that were banning Trump. And now he's here. Even he recognizes the badassery of what Trump actually did. And I think that's awesome. And I think that's a very positive development. And I think this is a huge win for conservatives. And I do feel a shift happening. I see the power dynamics shifting, where conservatives are no longer afraid to say what they actually think. They're no longer shrinking back. There's a boldness filling people up. And I think that's good. And we're now able to push back against some of this stuff. And it feels like we got the wind in our sails, and the tides are turning in our favor. The amount of time you spend at the UFC, I would be surprised he became a conservative. Yeah, I do think he's had more positive takes lately. There was something he said not that long ago that I agreed with. But Zuckerberg is becoming seemingly more human. It seems like his alien self is now assimilating with being an actual human being, and he's becoming a lot more likable. He is. So I think that's cool. I liked what he said about Trump because it's obvious. Everybody recognizes it. Even his enemies are probably like, damn, that was so badass. How do we're done. It's over, boys. It's over. We can't do anything about it anymore. It's just one of those history-defying moments, and just prove that Trump isn't just all talk. He's just not. He is a man that actually stands by what he says. He is really as tough as he claims to be. And I think that's awesome. All right. 2 more videos, and then we're going to wrap things up. All right. So we have this video that's making the rounds. So this is shared by Ian Miles Chong, which, by the way, this guy sucks. I'm just going to remind you guys, I hate having the shirt. Actually, I don't even want to give him the play. I'm going to give somebody else the play because I don't like Ian Miles Chong because he's a content thief, like very bad at stealing other people's content. Having a child is for life, not for 18 years. All right, let's play. So my mom just kicked me out, came in my room and casually kicked me out. I graduated 2 months ago. Suggestions? If you had asked me probably before I had kids, I was under this mentality that the second my kids turn 18, I'm going to give them the boots. That was my mentality. And that's changed as I've become a father. I don't agree with this at all. Especially in the times that we are living in. You can't just kick your kids out the moment they turn 18 or the moment they graduate college. I don't think it's right. Now, I don't know this person's background, so I do think it's situational. So if you have kids and they are working or going to school, I don't see any, and they're obeying the rules of your household, I don't see any reason to kick them out. However, this changes if you have kids that are lazy, they're not going to school, they're not working, they're not pulling their weight, then I think kicking them out is actually the right thing to do. So again, I don't know the context of this person, but I do see this sentiment a lot. Again, I had it and I changed my mind about it. I'm now under the commitment that I will let my daughters stay with me as long as they need until they get married. That is kind of the mindset that I have now, because I recognize how hard it is to make it in this world. And my mindset is changing overall with how the family is structured, because I'm not even against multi-generational living, multiple families living in one home. Where if you asked me 3 years ago, I would have been against it. But now that I have 2 kids, now that both my wife and I are working and we're still struggling, it seems like a better setup than what we have. And I see my in-laws, they have challenges that they're facing. And, like if you have multiple families under one roof, you can all support each other, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I do. I think that's a good thing. And that's how it used to be for most of human history. It was not weird or unusual at all for multiple families to live under one roof. And also, it's something that other cultures do. They live together. They share everything, so you cut down on expenses. I actually think it's a way of building generational wealth too, because you can get by with having like 2 cars. You could get by with, doing, not having to pay somebody to watch your kids because the grandparents are there. And you can get by without having to pay to send your parents into a nursing home because you're there to help them out. It's like you help each other out. You carry the weight together. You shoulder the load. And I think that's a good thing. And pending everybody's doing their part, this works. I understand that not all families have those dynamics. It's not going to work with every family. But I think if you're in a situation where you reasonably get along with other members in your family, be your in-laws, your brother, your siblings, whatever the case is, and you're all equally yoked, I think too. Like if you don't yoke yourself up with unbelief. If they don't believe in Jesus, probably not a good idea, because you're going to have radically different approaches to everything. But I think if you mostly align on stuff, I think why not? Why not try to save money? Why not try to help each other out? Why not try to strengthen the family unit? And I think kicking kids out at 18 is not good, generally, unless they're not working and pulling their weight. But if this is a girl that just went to school, she's, trying to find a job, and she just needs, to somewhere to stay in the meantime, like you're her parents. You have a responsibility to them. You brought them into the world. They didn't ask to be in the world. Resident Canto says she looks spoiled. Probably. We will. I don't know. I don't have the context. We will see. But I do feel for kids though that they're doing the right thing and their parents just don't want to be parents anymore. That's not something that ends, by the way, when they turn 18. Like, I will always be a dad to my girls, and I will, to the best of my ability, be there for them. And then when they get married, well, now that responsibility is transferring to the husband, but I'll still be there for my girl and to support, now my future son-in-law. I'll do that because I think that would, that's what makes a good parent is being there for your kids and helping them out. So yeah, I definitely disagree with just kicking them out though if they're not doing anything. And this last video, so this is I show speed. So let's pull this up. All right. So before we read Tate's commentary, let's watch the video. All right.
English or Spanish?
Both. His mom is Spanish.
Whoever moves first is gay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made the baby cry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damn, my fault, chat.
Fucking sick in the head, man. Making a fucking baby cry.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you're
I'm
insane.
sorry, bro.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Nah, seriously. It's my fault. I apologize. I'm sorry.
You have a big guy with
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah.
No. Fuck that, bro. I just said, bro, I apologize. You know what? That's on me.
Is this how you make your living?
I know.
Getting the shit out of
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to.
apologize about 5
No. Be quiet. Like I said,
This is funny. Not
like I said, I did not mean to do that. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was an accident?
No, yes, it was an accident. Yo, I did not try to make your baby cry.
There's something fucking in your head?
I just said it was an accident, bro. I'm sorry, bro. All right, bro.
Oh, in America, you do your fucking
Yo, slip shield, bro.
Want to be fucking racist?
No, bro, because it was my fault. I did not mean to make the baby cry. I just said no, it's my fault, bro.
So obviously I don't like that he scared this baby, but I don't think his intention was to scare the baby. All right. So Andrew Tate wrote this. I don't like to comment on petty internet drama, but did I Show Speed really just scare a man's baby on purpose? I don't think the intent was to scare the baby. I think he was being an idiot without a doubt. And he just happened to scare the baby. So and obviously he shouldn't scream around babies, but he's also, I think somebody said he's like 20 years old. So he's just a stupid, dumb, young guy. He should, maybe he's not around. I don't know. I'm not saying it's good. All right. Yeah, I'd be pissed if he did this to my kid, but I genuinely do think the guy did not mean to. And then got his big guards to intimidate them. Well, he was trying to tell them to stand down. So I don't think he intended to. I think he was pretty apologetic about it. But obviously, his comment about like whoever moves first is gay. Like, this is a baby, all right? This is, leave the baby alone, man. So this just speaks to me. I just see some young guy that clearly doesn't interact with children, doesn't understand that they can get easily startled with loud noises, and that it's just not appropriate to act like that in front of them. That's what I get when I see somebody like this. I could be wrong, maybe he does, but he just strikes me as somebody that's not around a lot of kids. Because if you're around kids, that, especially young babies, you make loud noises, they're gonna get startled. So I do think he was sincere. Do I think he does need to be called out a little? Yeah, because he has to take responsibility for what he's done, and he has a huge platform. The one comment though that I really disagree with is racist. Why are you making this about racist? It wasn't him. It was I guess the security. No, it had nothing to do with race. He screamed in the baby's face and pissed off the dad. That's an angry father. It has nothing to do with your skin color. So that type of mentality, I think, is absolute trash. Absolute trash. No racist things were happening. This is just a dad that's pissed off about his son getting startled. And I thought the dad responded appropriately. And I do think, again, he was sincerely apologetic. It seems like that to me. I could be wrong, but it just seems like he was genuine. He's calling off his guy like, no, chill, man. Like owning, taking responsibility that he messed up. So hopefully he learned a lesson and he doesn't do this type of nonsense again, because it could go very badly for him too. It could go very badly for him, especially if his guard isn't there quick enough to respond. And we've already seen people mob this guy down. I mean, him getting it, going through a crowd and getting his hair ripped out of his head. I just saw a video today of him getting chased by a dog. So he's got to be careful. And I don't think he's really thinking about risks when he's doing things. And that's how you end up in situations like this. And one day he might do it to the wrong person. And that's not going to end well. So, yeah. That's all I got for today, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, comment, do all of those things. That really helps me out. We are growing little by little. I'm officially verified on Rumble, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I love doing these streams. Resident Canto, thank you for joining the chat. And yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed night, and deuces.